Okay, this is Business 342, homework page 88, problem number 5. Pure Pleasures has 35,000 bonds outstanding that are currently quoted at 102.3%. The bonds mature in 13 years and carry a 9% annual coupon. What is the firm's after-tax cost of debt if the applicable tax is 34%? So this is pretty straightforward. They're annual coupons, so the IY you get is the annual rate. So you just use n equals 13. The present value is 102.3%, so you just 1.023 times 1,000. Make that a negative number, 1,023. The payment, 9%. You know the face value, that's payments are based on the face value times the percent. So that's $9 per year. Future value is 1,000. Compute the IY, that's 8.7% for the year. After tax cost of debt is just the RD. The IY is the same as the RD in this case, which is the cost of debt or the return, the rate of return from the debt if you're an investor. RD times 1 minus the tax rate, so 8.7 times 0.66, 5.74% is the cost of debt. That's problem number 5. Problem number 6, we're basically doing the same thing, but we've got to do a weighted average for them. So it says a firm has 3 bond issues outstanding. Each making semi-annual payments, so we got to take that into account. Semi-annual payments. The details of the bonds are presented in the table below. What is the firm's after-tax cost of debt if its corporate rate is 34%? Okay, so remember, these are semi-annual. So semi-annual, the IY you get, you're going to have to multiply times 2 to get the annual rate. So let's do bond number 1. Okay, now I put this in here, but this is basically, I'll explain it to you. So bond number 1 is at 8% coupon rate. The price is 98%, 0.98. Maturity is 6 years. Face value is 10 million. Okay, you need to know the current market value of that. So since it's 98%, the face value is 10 million. The current market value is 9.8 million. Just like in this case, for bond 2, the current price is 102%, so 1.02 times the face value of 25 million gives you the current market. This is the only place I had space for this. The current market value is 2,550,000 at 25,500,000. For bond number 3, current price is 104%. The face value is 20 million, so it's 1.04% times that. So it's 20,800,000. You add all these together, that's 56,100,000. And to get the weight of each one of these, it's just the 9.8 million over the 56,100,000. You can't see this number, but it's 1.747. Excuse me, 0.1747. And this is the 25. And remember, this is because you use the current market values of these debt to figure out what its weighted average is. Then all it is multiplying the percentage times the face value. That gives you the current market value. You add them together, and then you take the weight of each one of these, and that's what you get. Okay, so now back to this. Okay, so for the first bond, remember these are semi-annual, so you take the number of years, 6 times 2, that's your N. Your present value, they tell you, is 98%, so 98% of 1,000, because that's the face value of each individual bond, is $980. You make that a negative. The payments are 8% based on the $1,000 face value at 8%, so that's $80 per year, but since they're semi-annual, you divide that by 2. Payments are 40. Future value is always 1,000. Compute IY. You get 4.22%. Now remember, since you figured this out for semi-annual, the N was semi-annual, the periods, you got to multiply this times 2. So the annual rate is 8.44%. The after-tax cost of debt, remember this is the RD, the IY is the RD, the cost of debt. Okay, so the 8.44 times 1 minus the tax rate, TC, equals 5.57%. So that is your after-tax cost of capital for bond 1. For bond 2, you do the same thing. Since it's semi-annual, it's the periods times 2 is 24. Present value 102% times 1,000. And that gets you a negative 1,020 for the present value. The payments are 7.5% on a $1,000 face value, so it's 75 divided by 2, 37.50. Future value is 1,000. Compute the IY, which is also the RD. That's going to give you 3.62. But you have to multiply that times 2, and you get 7.24 is your before tax RD, cost of debt. You multiply that times 1 minus the tax rate, and you get 4.778%. And you do the same for 3. Remember, semi-annual, so you got to multiply it times 2. You get 4.264. Okay, so here's the 3 different bonds after tax cost of debt. So now all you do is take the weighted average, because that's what they're asking for. What is the firm's after tax cost of debt if its corporate tax rate is 3.4%? So you need to figure out the weighted average. Here's the way that I screwed up right here. I had it figured out wrong before, so just ignore this whole column. That's wrong. Okay, so it's this number right here, 0.1747 times the 5, so this is for bond number 1, 5.57, then the 0.4545, which is the weight of bond 2. On yours, I'm going to correct this, so this will be right on what I send you. Okay, and so that's it's still it worked out the same, even though it's different numbers. It worked out to 0.4545 times the after-tax cost of debt, and then 0.3708, which was the third one, the third weight, 0.3708, right here, times bond 3's after-tax cost of debt. It's just a simple weighted average. These things turn out to be this. You add them together, and you get 4.726. He has 4.725. You know, I rounded somewhere or something. But that's how you do problems 5 and 6 on page 88, Business 342.